It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a video due to not really having time to work on YouTube, but I really wanted to upload a video, so I decided to platinum a much shorter game, Little Nightmares 2. For the first and technically only stage of this game, I needed to simply beat it while getting all the miscellaneous and collectible trophies, but sadly I made a mistake. I decided to not use a guide for the first two chapters of the game, and I ended up finding out that basically every trophy in the game can be missed super easily if you don't know what to do beforehand. I didn't realize this till later on, but if you wanted to platinum the game as fast as possible, you're supposed to do everything in one playthrough. So obviously I started off in chapter 1, and this chapter is pretty short and there isn't really much that happens, as chapter 1 acts as a tutorial for basic puzzles you'll be doing for the rest of the game. Eventually I made it to a cabin where I accidentally got my first missable trophy, where I opened up a fridge. What's in the box? As I kept going through the chapter, I met a little friend who decided to help me escape from this place. I don't know exactly what this place is, but who cares. We meet some guy with a gun, which makes for a pretty fun escape sequence in this game, where eventually me and Six managed to outsmart the guy, where I also got a missable trophy for killing him while wearing a raccoon cap. Fair prey. I'm assuming he's dead, but I don't know. Foraged. Now we move on to chapter 2, the schoolyard place, and this chapter has the most amount of missable trophies, I think. It might be the third chapter, but I'm pretty sure it's the second. Anyways, despite that, I managed to get none of the missable trophies, just the story ones. As I was going through the school, solving puzzles, killing little kids, and escaping the teacher a few times, which, by the way, it's super hard for no reason. I kept dying over and over again to this girl that looks like the vegan teacher, but I ended up finding Six a new coat for a trophy, and ended off the chapter by escaping the vegan teacher's clutches. True colors. So this is probably a prequel then. Schooled. And that is the end of chapter 2. At this point of the game, I realized how many missable trophies there were and how many collectibles I had to get, so I started using a guide. The collectibles I needed were to find these weird glitch things and find some wearable hats. So to start the chapter off, the first missable trophy I got was to dispense 5 drinks from a vending machine. Then I needed to hold Six's hand in this X-ray you can find, and take a teddy bear you can find in the same room, take it to a basement, and set it on fire for a secret key. But for the trophy to pop, you had to wear a bear mask. Toys are for kids. For the next trophy, I actually missed it. I had to go through rooms with tons of dead bodies everywhere, where eventually there would be a hand that would chase you around. Then you get a hammer and kill it, and for a trophy you're supposed to hit it 5 times after it's already dead. But once I did kill it, it launched back underneath a cart, so I had no way to actually hit it. I restarted the checkpoint and it spawned back in dead, but it didn't actually have collisions, so I couldn't get the trophy. Also, I know my voice sounds pretty weird. It's actually because I'm really sick right now. After that area, I got a battery so I could advance through the level a bit, but instead of doing so, there was a piece of corn I could take. With the corn, I went back into that basement where we burnt that bear and turned the corn into popcorn for another trophy. And after that makes for honestly the hardest part of the game for no good reason. In the next room there's tons of broken doll things that chase you around, and the only way to stop them is with a flashlight. After escaping like a million of these things, I jump through a vent where I can turn around and go through a broken gate and take some cheese. With this cheese I threw it in a random hole for a trophy. Objection. And one of these things. After that cheese thing, I needed to run away from tons of half-dead dolls, which was actually pretty fun. After escaping them, I was able to get the last glitch in this chapter for another trophy. Sick kids. A little later in the game, there was another big doll chase sequence, and after getting away from them, I took a ball and threw it at them for another trophy. And after that segment, the trophy I missed with those hand things actually came back. And this time, they didn't launch underneath something, so I could actually get the trophy this time. And stay dead. Just 2 more times, because why not? After finally getting that trophy, I eventually had the opportunity to get another hat, which makes half of them so I could get another trophy. Then I finally came to the end of the chapter where EDP-445 tries to snatch little kids once again. After having a few interactions with him, I'm able to get one more missable trophy where me and 6 lure him into a furnace. After locking him in it, you're initially supposed to burn him to death, but instead, we let him live and finish off the chapter. First, do no harm. Low-key, I kind of just wanted to kill him, but it's alright. Hospitalized. 2 trophies at once, baby. At the start of chapter 4, I wanted to get 2 quick, easy trophies that are pretty boring to get. The first one is I needed to hold 6's hand 26 times. And for the second, I had to sit there and hold 6's hand for 6 minutes, so it was pretty boring. After learning how to travel through TVs, I got a postman's hat that I'll need for a future trophy, but after going through some TVs, I was able to find a secret room which had the last glitch in the chapter, and a bonus Easter egg from Little Nightmares 1. Pale kids. Okay. Unladylike. I guess this is where she lives? Hypothetically? After continuing on for a while, I can now get the final missile trophy. With the postman's hat I got earlier, I can jump down this hole and grab this little package. I had to bring the package to this random hand you can find, give it to the hand, and I got a trophy. With that, I finished the chapter up by running away from this really tall guy. After a few chase sequences, I had a boss fight where we do this thing. After I beat him, I obviously got a trophy for finishing the chapter. Paled. With that done, I now moved on to the final chapter. In this chapter, there are no extra trophies or collectibles, it's all just one big boss fight. Earlier in the game, 6 got kidnapped, but we find 6 again and have a huge boss fight with him, where we go through what I would assume to be other dimensions, presumably. After beating 6, this weird goo chases us, kinda reminds me of that one expanding devil from Chainsaw Man. Eventually, we almost escaped, but 6 decided to, I guess, kill me. Then he turns into that tall guy I killed earlier somehow. I'm not familiar with the lore in this game, but hey, I got a trophy for it. Signal interruption. With the game beaten, I just needed to go back to chapters 1 and 2 and get the trophies that I missed. But before that, there's one quick trophy I can get now. Once you beat the game, you can get a top hat that you can wear, and doing so gives me another trophy. In chapter 1, there's only 2 trophies for me to get. The first one is I needed to get the last glitching remain I missed. That obviously gave me a trophy, and there's a point in this chapter where you needed to dodge some bear traps. If you make it to the cabin without dying from one, you get a trophy. I'm not sure why, but I was so bad at the game that I actually missed this, but oh well. Evasive prey. Let's go, baby. Now I just have chapter 2, and I missed a ton of stuff here. At the very beginning, I got a couple trophies. In the schoolyard, I had the last glitching remain in this chapter, and overall, so that's 2 trophies right there. Right next to it, I had the last hat to get in the game. And with the softball hat, I ran into this goal while wearing it for another trophy. That's 4 trophies right at the beginning of this chapter, which is kinda crazy. Not sure why, but I guess we'll find out. Unless it's to run in here. Referee, it was. Okay. Cool. In the very next room, you're supposed to take a block and take down a sign with it, but instead I took a paper airplane and threw it out a window for another trophy. Fly free. A few rooms later, I came to the room where you need to avoid the teacher, but instead, for the next trophy, I needed her to send her students to come after me and try to kill me. With them chasing me, I needed to wait for 6 of them to try to climb up a dresser to get me, but I made it fall down and killed 6 of them at once to get another trophy. In the next room, we see a student tied to a rope, and man, who knows what the teacher's doing to the poor kid, but you're initially supposed to kill him, but instead I let him live for another trophy. Merciful feat. Now we have 1 trophy left. Let's go, baby. Now I only had 1 trophy, and this one kinda sucked because it was at the very end of chapter 2, and chapter 2 is like an hour long. But once I made it to the end, all I had to do was run along this piano, and the platinum trophy was mine. Monotones. And the platinum trophy, I would assume. Primetime content consumer, baby. Got the fetching platinum. Let's go. With that, there's the platinum. Thanks you all for watching. You may as well subscribe while you're still here, you know? I know it's been ages since I've uploaded, but I just haven't had time to work on YouTube. But hey, Christmas break finally came, so it seems like I'll finally be able to upload a lot this week. But yeah, I'm sorry it took so long, but I'm hoping to finish Resident Evil 4, so if you want to see that, then subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys all in the next video.